Every Sunday morning for 50 years, I performed the same routine. Ronald would come around to my side of the car in the church parking lot, open the door, offer his arm. I'd take it. We'd walk through those double doors at Mount Zion Baptist like we were the couple on top of a wedding cake. Somebody, didn't matter who, there was always somebody, would say, "Vivian, you and Ronald are just the sweetest thing." And I would smile. Lord, I could smile. I'd say, "We're blessed. Thank you for asking." Nobody ever asked twice. Nobody ever looked past the smile. Or maybe they did, and I just couldn't see it because I was too busy holding my face together. We'd been doing that walk since 1971, the September after we married. Ronald was 24, I was 22, and I swear to you, by the time I was 30, that walk from the parking lot to the pew was the most intimate we were all week. 10 minutes of pretending, then back to the silence. Because that's what waited at home, the silence. Ronald in his recliner, me in the kitchen, him watching whatever game was on, me washing dishes I'd already washed, not fighting, not talking, just existing in the same house like two pieces of furniture somebody arranged in the same room a long time ago and never moved. But the worst part, the part I'm ashamed to tell you, is who I was lying to the most. See, I started keeping a journal in 1983. I was 40. Our daughter Patty had just started school, and I thought, I need somewhere to put all these thoughts, somewhere private, somewhere just for me. So I bought a little blue notebook from the drugstore, and I sat down at the kitchen table while Ronald was at work, and I wrote. And I lied. I wrote things like, Ronald surprised me with flowers today. He didn't. Had a wonderful anniversary dinner. We ate in silence. Feeling grateful for this man. I was feeling lonely. I was feeling invisible. But I couldn't write that, not even to a page that no one would ever read. Because if I wrote the truth, if I put it down in ink where I could see it, then I'd have to do something about it. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't brave enough. I didn't even know what I'd do. So I lied to the journal for 15 years. 15 years of writing the marriage I wanted on top of the one I had. Like painting a picture of a garden on the wall of a prison cell. Pretty to look at, still a wall. Now, I need you to understand something about Ronald. He wasn't mean. Not the way people think when they hear a story like this. He didn't yell, he didn't hit, he didn't drink. Ronald went to work every day at the electric company for 37 years. He fixed things around the house without being asked. He put both our children through school. If you'd asked any man at Mount Zion Baptist who was a good husband, they would have pointed at Ronald Carter, and they wouldn't have been completely wrong. Ronald grew up in a house in Raleigh where his daddy sat in a recliner every night and his mama brought him supper on a plate. His daddy never said "I love you" to that woman. Not that Ronald ever heard. Never complimented her cooking. Never asked about her day. Never touched her except to hand her his coat. And Ronald's mama, she smiled. Every day she smiled. She held that house together with both hands and never once complained. So Ronald married me and did exactly what he saw. He provided. He showed up. He nodded at the deacons and held the door open at Mount Zion and thought that was the whole job. I can't call it cruelty. It was inheritance. But inheritance still cost somebody, and the somebody was me. December 1997. I remember this like it was last Tuesday. We were taking our Christmas card photo. The photographer, a woman from our church, Brenda, was coming at 2 o'clock. That morning, Ronald looked at my outfit and said, "You're wearing that?" I changed. He looked again. "That color washes you out." I changed again. Then at lunch, he said the roast was dry. At 2 o'clock, Brenda arrived. I put on lipstick. Ronald put on his gray suit. We stood in front of the fireplace and we smiled. That photograph went out to 68 people. 68 Christmas cards with our faces on them. And every single person who opened that envelope saw a happy couple, a blessed couple. They put us on their refrigerator. And that morning, 3 hours before that photo, I was standing in my bedroom in my third outfit, trying not to cry because my husband couldn't find one kind thing to say to me. That was the lie. Not one big lie, 1,000 small ones. A smile here, a "we're fine" there, a journal entry that said "good day" when the day was hollow. I was building a monument to a marriage that didn't exist, and I was so good at it that I almost believed it myself. Almost. I might have kept going forever, 50 years, 60, all the way to the grave with that smile pressed onto my face like it was painted on. I almost did. My mama, Alma Jean Hodges, did exactly that. Married to my daddy for 44 years, smiled every single day, and went to her grave in 2005 without ever once admitting she was lonely. I was supposed to follow her. I was on the path. But then Doris asked me a question. March 2024, a Tuesday morning, nothing special. I was at Doris Whitfield's kitchen table, same table I'd been sitting at for 40 years. She poured my coffee. We were talking about nothing, about the azaleas, about whose grandchild did what. And Doris, just like she'd done 1,000 times, said, "How's Ronald?" And I don't know what happened. I don't know if something in me finally rusted through, but I opened my mouth and instead of "we're blessed," instead of "oh, you know Ronald, steady as ever," I said, "I don't know, Doris. I haven't known that man in 30 years, and I'm tired of pretending I do." The kitchen went quiet, not the bad kind of quiet, not the Ronald kind, just still. I sat there waiting for Doris to gasp, to clutch her pearls, to start praying. That's what church women do when you say the unspeakable thing. They pray at you. Doris didn't pray. She didn't gasp. She reached across that table, took both my hands, and said 5 words that broke me open. Baby, I know. I've always known. She knew. My best friend of 40 years knew the whole time. She saw through every smile, every "we're blessed," every Christmas card. She watched me perform for 50 years, and she loved me anyway, and she never said a word because I never gave her room to. I cried at that table, not the quiet kind, not the kind you can hide, the kind that comes from a place so deep inside you that when it finally opens, the sound scares you because you didn't know that sound was in there. I cried until her coffee got cold, and mine did too, and she just held my hands and let me. And here's what I realized sitting in that kitchen with mascara on my face and the truth on the table. The performance was never as good as I thought it was. I spent 50 years thinking I was fooling everyone. The only people I was really fooling were me and Ronald. Everyone else, they saw. They just loved me enough not to say it, or they didn't know how. Or, and this is the part that kept me up at night for weeks, they were performing too. After that morning, I started seeing things I couldn't unsee. Thanksgiving 2024. My house. The whole family. I'm in the kitchen and I'm watching my daughter Patricia, Patty, my firstborn, 52 years old, and her husband Marcus. Marcus says something dismissive about the sweet potatoes, something small, the kind of thing you'd miss if you weren't looking. And Patty smiled. Not a real smile, my smile. The one I've been wearing for 50 years. The one that says, everything is fine when everything is not fine. The one that smooths over the room so nobody has to feel uncomfortable. I watched my daughter's face and I saw my own, and something in my chest just collapsed. I didn't teach Patty to cook. I didn't teach her to pray, not really. I didn't teach her to stand up for herself. I taught her to smile when it hurts. I taught her that a woman's job is to make everyone else comfortable, even if she's disappearing while she does it. And I taught her without saying a single word. I taught her with my face. Now, Ronald didn't make me lie. I need to be clear about that. Nobody held a gun to my smile. I chose it. Every single Sunday, every single holiday card, every single "we're fine," that was me. My pride, my fear, my mama's voice in my head whispering, a wife holds the house together. I held that house together so tight I crushed myself inside it. And I look at Ronald now and I don't see a villain. I see a man who was never taught that a wife needs more than a roof and a paycheck. He gave me everything he had. It wasn't enough. But I also never told him it wasn't enough. Not clearly, not without anger, not in a way he could hear. We failed each other. I just failed quieter. So here's where I am now, 77 years old, still married to Ronald, still in the same house, but something's different. It's a Tuesday evening as I'm telling you this. At least in my mind it is, because that's when the quiet used to hurt the most. Ronald is in his recliner. The television's on. I'm in my chair with a book. We haven't spoken in 2 hours. And I'm all right. Not performing all right. Not we're blessed all right. Actually, all right. Because I stopped. I stopped trying to fix Ronald. I stopped waiting for him to become someone he was never going to be. I stopped performing for people who never asked me to perform in the first place. I started writing the truth in my journal, every page, even the ugly days. I joined a book club with Doris. I started a garden out back, tomatoes, zinnias, basil, and I go out there every morning with my coffee, and I don't have to smile for the tomatoes. I started calling Patty and telling her the truth, not about Ronald, about me, about what I should have shown her when she was young enough to learn a different way. I didn't leave the house. I left the lie. And when I left the lie, I found something I hadn't felt in decades. Room. Room to breathe. Room to be Vivian, not Ronald's wife, not the smiling woman from the Christmas card, not Alma Jean's good daughter, just Vivian, 77 years old, with dirt under her nails and nothing left to perform. If you're sitting in a house right now, smiling at a man who doesn't see you, I was you. For 50 years, I was you. And I'm telling you from the other side of that smile, you don't have to leave the house to leave the lie. The performance can stop whenever you decide to stop giving it. Not at some perfect moment, not when you're ready. You'll never feel ready. You just stop. And the world doesn't end. The house doesn't fall down. The people who love you don't leave. The ones who only love the show, well, you find out who they are. And that's a gift too, even though it doesn't feel like one at first. Doris told me something else that morning at her kitchen table. After I'd cried and she'd held my hands, and the coffee was cold, and the truth was sitting between us like a third person. She said, Viv, the people who love you, they don't need the show. They just need you. She was right. She was right all along. If this sounds like your story, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Sometimes the lie breaks when somebody else says it first.